What's going on, everybody? You're tuning into another episode of Blerd Confidential podcast, the only podcast where you get 330-something year old people to talk about anything that comes to their mind. Sometimes some nerdy stuff, and then sometimes we get a little real, but we're just here to, just hash things out and just spark the conversation. I'm Q.
I'm Anonymous Rex.
Oh, yeah, and I'm the guy who almost interrupted James. I'm Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. There you go.
Yep.
He's Johnny 5.
There you go. Oh man, another week, fellas. Another week in the. It's just.
I gotta go work tomorrow. This week ain't long enough.
I know. Like, it was so bad. I was at my buddy's house the other day, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, man, you know what? I just need a vacation from everything. I just need to just go away somewhere and not have the weight of the world on your shoulders.
You know
Leave
what?
the planet. Got it.
Yes.
But then the weight on your shoulders again is like, I got to get back to Earth. Maybe I shouldn't go back to Earth. Maybe I should die here.
See,
I should die up
here. It's actually funny. I remember, you hear stories about people trying to figure out how to colonize Mars and all that stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, we could put all these resources into somehow create an atmosphere for Mars." And it's like, wait, so you saying we can't put those same resources on how to fix ours? Like, is it like are we doing the whole man? Screw it, I need an oil change, but damn it, I'm just throw the whole car away. I'm just gonna buy a new one. Is that what we doing?
Ain't no what.
That's pretty much what they're getting at. But then, at the same time, it's like, why not like a moon base or something like that? I mean, you don't necessarily have to terraform just, enclosed habitats, things that we've been doing for years on Earth, for, underwater research, isn't there like a habitat under, on the ocean floor that's been around for ages that, people go down and spend, weeks on end, inside of. So, I mean, you got options.
Yeah. Now, look, just think about it this way. So, you wanted your vacation. Just to get away from everything.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm a person, at this point, it's hot as hell. Okay? As much as I want to get away from people, the last thing I'm finna do is go camping.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Don't tell that to these people.
The devil is breathing hard as hell right now. And you have to have somebody that walk up on you that they talk from the back of their throat.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing today?
Yeah,
with these long vowels and everything. Just hot. And you got the nerve to come up on somebody and talk like that? Yeah, it's totally hot. And then I want to get away from you?
Yeah, it's totally disrespectful. Like, that's fighting words. I'm sorry. Like,
your being is fighting words at this point, and don't have the nerve. And at this point, see, this is where I'm conflicted. You can do a lot of things at this point because of the crisis that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
You can get into anywhere just about cheap at this point because they want you in the building. Yeah. Flights are just as bad at this point.
Oh yeah, you can fly anywhere for damn near pennies on the dollar.
You get your $30 flight from Washington State to Florida. You ain't even taking Spirit at this point. How much is the ticket? $100. Really? Guess I'm going to Miami to go get COVID with everybody else.
You gonna go to one of those COVID parties?
Absolutely not.
Man,
thou shalt not be a fool today.
Look, man, it's been. I remember I heard that story, and of course it was a Texas person that happened. I was just like, I'm like, what's the alternative? Like, think about this. I used this analogy the other day. It's not a perfect analogy, but just roll with me here. So the whole premise of a COVID party is to go to someone's house who has been tested positive to then see if you will get it. If you get it, then it's real.
Oh, wait a minute.
Don't. Oh, stop.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's a thing?
It was a thing.
People are doing that.
I don't know if people were doing it, but there was a situation where this guy in San Antonio had went to a COVID party.
Oh Jesus, we're all screwed. See, and that's the thing that like grinds my gears. It's no one takes anything seriously, and it's all about like jumping on Facebook and being the first one to start that next movement. Just like the hurricane parties.
The death
People
movement?
go out, have hurricane parties. Then they get swept out to sea or some crap. Then somebody has to come out there and save them.
Exactly.
Or a house flood, somebody has to come out there and get them. And it's just, and it's the same. It's almost like, okay, if there's a freaking alien invasion, we're just gonna have an alien invasion party to where everybody just goes out and to see if we can, shake hands with one of these creatures, before they, are insides out. I mean, that's just the direction we're going.
I'm just saying, remember that happened in Independence Day. You remember that scene? They all climbed to that tower.
Exactly. And
I want to have your baby. Take me with you. So pretty.
Get this Get this blue laser of death.
It's crazy. I don't get it. And it's like the more I scroll, the more depressed I get. It's just like, oh my people, like, come on, y'all. We are better than that, America. We are so much better than that.
Let's see if we can clear out some foods. We can clear out some foods. Hold on. Just hear me out. We can clear out some foods. What you have to do, you have to market this COVID thing as something good to get more people to jump on the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always your bandwagoners that you want to get because they're the ones that's like that ain't thinking too straight, and they're gonna bring the whole population down with them. But if we can get them separated and let them go do their own thing, you know how if let the herd just go run their way, and then if they run off the side of the cliff, you just like, hey, the rest of us over here, we tried to pull y'all back, but y'all just wanted to go running with the crowd anyway. If we tell them that it's a sexual enhancing drug, I think we might have a chance.
Yo, man, it was just funny. So, okay, here, this was an article on The Guardian. This is how they describe a COVID party. A COVID party is a gathering held by somebody diagnosed with coronavirus to see if the virus is real and to see if anyone gets infected. I was like, that's what I think the chief medical officer has stated. But I also said this. I said, okay, let's play a game.
I got a game for you after in a minute. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. I got a game.
But no, I said this. Imagine, let's say it's not like, again, not a 1-to-1, but I think the premise is still similar. We're going to invite people. We're not going to participate. We're inviting people to an orgy. Why not an orgy? Now, let's say there's 20 people. All right. One of them has AIDS. But you don't know who. But you got to have sex with everybody.
We're going to find out who got it.
See,
I'm not
if you can get it or not. Exactly. Are you going to play? No, you're not.
But the extra twist is you're going to play out this orgy for 3 weeks on any given day.
Yes.
So somebody got it. Let's see if the whole group gets it.
Like, people really
And if you don't get it after 90 days, you win.
Like, people are really playing Russian roulette, but just with a virus.
Yeah. But I think that's what really makes this virus like dangerous. It's not like Ebola or something crazy where like you sniff it and all of a sudden like your eyeballs are melting out of your sockets.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
running out your back end.
Yeah, coming out all orifices. You don't
look like you don't look like you stared at the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, gotcha.
That shit coming from your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And so if it doesn't, and it's sad to say, but if it doesn't hit home like that, people don't take it seriously. People don't take it seriously at all. And that's what makes this, virus so dangerous is because, it's, you may have ran into somebody, I mean, because one, okay, so, no one knows, really how long this thing, stays airborne. Asymptomatic individuals can possibly spread this just by breathing, all these different things. So you could be in the grocery store, even with the mask on. Now, let's just be real. And they always teach you about PPE. PPE is the last
line of defense.
The last line of defense. You've seen the videos.
Yeah.
And so
I work in the field. So I understand.
Yeah. And so we can't kid ourselves that, even though, we may mask up and things like that, 3 weeks later may come up with a sniffle, whatever, 5 days later, you're in another room. You don't know. And that's why people are like, oh, it's fake news and, all that's fake, everything's fake, my face is fake, that's why people are, have that mentality now because it doesn't go in and immediately wreck the house.
I think people's lack, I don't know what to call it, a lack of understanding. That's the easiest way. Because someone else did something similar. They said, they showed someone with like a dust mask and someone who was working with drywall. And was like, see, this person wore a dust mask for X amount of hours and they still got drywall dust on their face. It's like, okay, first of all, it's drywall dust. That's different. We don't know how it got. Yeah, we don't know how it got on their face. Their hands probably have
How much face do you have? Let's be real.
Exactly.
How much face do you have? The mask is only covering up so much of it.
Yeah, but this is the funny part. It's like, no, that's a false positive. That's not what that means. You're taking two things that are not the same, but trying to make it the equivalent. But never mind.
Whatever.
But I did this though. I said I made a vow that I refuse to have this discussion with anyone else about masks, the political landscape, because I realize it's a waste.
It's a waste of time. There's no convincing, and it's so sad, man. Because the sad part about it is, okay, the Looney Tunes are already going to put themselves in danger, but the tragedy is they put their children in danger. They put their elders in danger. All these, indirectly, they affect all these different people. And even when you try to explain that still doesn't hit home. And it's like, this has nothing to do with rights. This is about survival. There's no economy when everyone's freaking dead. I mean,
yes, there is. That's why you got, that's why all of this is for money. So all the rich people keep all the money and nothing gets cycled. And which I still talk about rich people too. Cause I'm like, what purpose is it to be a billionaire if you're the only one? Is it to say you have
nothing left? You ain't getting no more money because the people that you get the money from, they're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Did we not
play Monopoly? Kraft macaroni and cheese. Look, whoever runs the Kraft goods industry ain't gonna have no money if these people die. So the first thing Kraft should be saying is, hey, put some masks on. Okay? Look Debbie is surviving off the black community and anybody that's underprivileged because you can go buy you a Little Debbie cake for less than $1.
$3.
But guess what? Look, for the box, the big box.
Yeah.
For the big box. For the big box.
Yes.
Nutty Butters?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. Get you about 36 of them.
Oh, $2.79. $2.79, you get your whole big box, not just a regular box.
COVID cases already all the way to Nutty Butters, guys. You heard it on Blerd Confidential.
Yeah, you got it.
Yep.
Exactly.
If you got any suggestions about that, go to blerdconfidential@gmail.com and go ahead and submit your suggestions right there and go ahead and drop us a line. But what I'm saying is, the bottom line of it is that the problem that we're having is that we're so desensitized by everything that we see at this point as an American people. Mm-hmm. Think about it for a minute. As bad as one thing, I ain't here to talk about people and their guns. I love guns. And if anybody know me, they know I love guns. If I had a place to put guns, I would buy guns.
America.
That's right.
America. Bang, bang, bang. Pow, pow. fireworks. Eagles. So the problem is that we're so desensitized, but we're such a global plant. We're global, meaning that at this point, no matter what you want to do, you can fly across the world, where you couldn't do that 200 years ago.
True.
So when diseases did travel,
you could do 100 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
We were a lot capable. We were a lot more capable 100 years ago in 1920 than 1820.
I mean, the plane was there. You know, it was a little rocky.
We had blimps. We had zeppelins. They were making these voyages across the ocean.
Yeah, you had your zeppelins. Hopefully, nobody shot up at it and basically goes in a helium bomb. You know,
we had the Titanics of the world. We had all of them.
But I don't care what anyone says. I still think we should have had rocket packs like on the Rocketeer. I'm sorry.
You're right. Even though it would have
burnt your ass up, but I understand.
But you know, I get it.
Would have been awesome.
You would have looked like Joe from Family Guy by the time you were done with it. Them shits would have been non-existent.
Yeah, because
I understand. I completely understand. I see where you're going, brother. I see.
Hey, don't say that out loud. Disney might try to remake it.
No, don't do it.
What do y'all think about that? Because I say that because I have to rewatch it biannually. I have to watch it. What do you guys think?
Stop remaking shit.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
You gotta be selective in what you remake, and it's only because certain movies that we watched when we grew up don't age well because of the material that's in it.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't age well because of the graphics that we had at the time that we were limited to. Some things can be done a lot better now than what they were done. So I would give it that. Like Ninja Turtle, people don't like the new Ninja Turtles because they look too big. No, this is science fantasy. This ain't even science fiction no more. This is just science fantasy. You know, the only turtle that's gonna get that big is the one big ass sea turtle.
Yeah.
But,
what happened?
Ladies and gentlemen, what
the fuck just happened?
What happened?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, he can't hear us.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been dealing with Johnny and his damn headphones for the last 3 weeks, and my microphone has been bad. We know we can see you. We can see you. Hold on. He's trying to mime words to us, and we're going to try to tell him that we can see him. So he's going back to go find something else.
You know what? For all those who would like to donate to some headphones to Johnny, go ahead and hit us up at blerdconfidential@gmail.com. And man, we can set up a GoFundMe. Please save Johnny's headphones.
In fact, at some point, we're going to do a Patreon account so you come in and roast his headphones. You can come in with all the jokes that you want at that point and light his ass up. Because my microphone has been trashed for the last 3 weeks, and I finally done something about it. But I ain't bought a microphone yet. But don't worry about what I did. Just know it's better than what it was before.
Yeah. Even though I myself, Q, actually provided options for microphones, but people don't listen all the time. You know how that goes.
We listen, but we just don't focus.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And it's unintentional. It's unintentional because right now I'm intoxicated as we speak.
So, hey, Johnny, you're back, man. We're setting up that GoFundMe or Patreon or something so we can actually get you some proper headphones, man. So don't worry.
Oh my God,
we're gonna let the people come.
We said good. No, we're gonna let people come for your headphones life, not your life. But your headphones life.
Oh
we're
my
gonna
gosh,
set a Patreon account so they can come roast your headphones. We're just gonna put your headphones on display so they can roast your headphones.
I think I've said this for about the 18th time. Do not buy Corsair Void headphones.
Oh, what
ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Blerd Confidential was not endorsed by Corsair. So yeah, go ahead. Say what I need.
Yes, Corsair sucks. Just saying. All right, continue.
But anyways, James, you were talking about how
for any type of sponsorship in the future. Just to let you guys know. So thank you everyone for listening.
There you go.
Kiss my ass. Okay.
So Johnny was telling us how bad the new Ninja Turtles were. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Batman. I don't know. Me personally, I liked it. I mean, I think
I love the hell out of it. I don't care. I let my imagination go.
Coming from like the original, like 1980s,
Yeah, it was like
early
89 or 90, I think, something like that.
Yeah. Coming
Once
from
again,
that, I thought it was pretty
once
decent.
again, ladies and gentlemen, we have the internet at our tips, and we are guessing, so we are not going to guess.
That's how we roll, man.
Yeah,
Screw
hey, while y'all talking,
factual information.
I'll look it up.
Screw looking up factual information. We're just gonna go off the dome, just like everyone else does.
Yeah, exactly.
When,
I mean, our government does it already. So,
hey, man, they got a whole internet, man.
Hold on. We're going to do this like every worst gangster rapper that wasn't a real gangster rapper do it. We're going to lie about everything that we talk about in our raps. So everything y'all hearing about in this podcast is more than likely a lie. We're going to do it like our president, because who's the biggest G in the world right now is Donald Trump. So he's the biggest gangster in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
So we're going to leave it at that. So
yes, 1990, according to Wikipedia, TMNT came out in 1990.
There you go.
Which it still holds up, in my opinion.
Still original. It's still
true.
I'm about it. I don't care what they got to say about Master Splinter. Yes, he's a big rat. Yes, he trained the turtles. Guess what? They teenagers too.
I mean, I guess my only issue that I have with Michael Bay films, and I had it with the Transformers too, is he always wants to focus on the human characters. No one cares what April's doing. No one cares what she's doing.
Oh my God. But you know what? Ain't that the same trick from Transformers?
Exactly. No one cares what Shia LaBeouf is doing. We're here to see Optimus Prime fight Megatron. Period. We came to see giant robots.
Hold on. No shit. Hold on. You know what?
That's like
that can't be.
That's like if for some reason. Yeah, it's like if for some reason somebody made a Gundam Wing movie, but we're gonna just focus on a random person. Like,
why not?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We'll show the robots at the end of the movie. Don't worry about it.
For these robots with these big ass rifles, flying across the sky, the big ass sword with these wings. Why do you need wings in space? Really don't know. Nope. Don't care, but put them on there.
Nope. We're gonna focus on Relena Huxley, I think is her name, and we're gonna focus on her and Hiro Yui only. Like, we're not even gonna show him fly, pilot the Gundam. We're not even gonna show that to like
screw heavy arms, or Wing Zeros. Screw all those guys.
Yeah, screw that. You didn't come here for that. You came here for a human drama, right?
That's somebody right in the chest. Of course. Straight in the chest.
But I don't know. I think the main thing that really stuck out for me about the movie is, it's refreshing to see, with the, newer technology implemented, how good it looked. It looks now. Granted, the story could have used a little work, but I can appreciate. It was refreshing to see the turtles, not look like, I don't know, which for the time, I was, it was groundbreaking, but
yeah, I guess I think I don't know if we talked about this before, but like,
hold on, before you go there. Okay. Before you go there, I'd just like to say, Michael Bay, go sit your ass down somewhere.
Oh, what he doing?
Because no, it's the simple fact. It ain't Shia LaBeouf that I think he was focused on. He just had Megan Fox in both of them.
We already know. Yeah,
and Ninja Turtles and Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
He had both in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even.
It was funny because I talked about this, and this isn't sexist. At least it's not. I'm not trying to be that way, but I always say
he's totally trying to be that way.
Megan Fox couldn't act, but she was fine, and you can tell because if you go from Transformers 1 to Transformers 2, they cut down her dialogue like by half. He's like, she didn't say anything in Transformers 2, really.
Hey, it's new. It's the old Hollywood. You ain't gotta say much, but just look good.
That's it.
Saying nothing.
Like,
that's how them old heads in Hollywood worked. But they gonna catch a rude awakening. Oh, they have been catching a rude awakening in the last 4 years. with Mr. Grab him by the, such and such.
Which, I mean, but to be honest though, they did that.
Such and such.
They did that quite a bit for males too. Let's be keep it real.
True.
Arnold was not an Oscar-winning actor.
No.
Period.
But you got to think about the time frame this man came about.
Yeah, it was
ain't no real dialogue needed when you got explosions, robots, car chases,
and Predator.
Car flips,
Predator.
Oh yeah.
How many explosions were in Predator? How many machine guns were in Predator? Everybody had a machine gun.
Think about Commando. In that last scene of Commando, the man didn't even aim his rifle. He just shot it off, and it was like he had cheat codes on. Yeah.
Bro.
I mean, it's so bad. His best acting was the one where he said the least amount of words, which was Terminator 1.
You know what? I will say this. I will say this.
Go ahead.
I got a counter for you. Christmas All the Way.
Jingle, man, come on, man. Really?
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
You can't tell me that if that was on, you wouldn't watch it again. That was fun.
As a kid,
it was comedy gold. Look, that's comedy gold.
Come on, man.
I wouldn't expect that. You telling me you expected Arnold Schwarzenegger's big 275 at the time?
Yeah.
Big ass weights,
man.
jump down that slide face first, and you don't laugh at why he's screaming.
Come on, man. Him and Sinbad were going at the whole film, like for real.
Just tell me this. If you saw my big ass running from a spider, you wouldn't laugh at me?
I would not say that would be pretty hilarious, not gonna lie.
Okay. The biggest thing in the room is running away from the spider. Who wouldn't laugh at that? It's not in the script. I promise you that much. I will burn this bastard down for it. Let's go.
Oh, man.
I bring out the flames. I bring out the aerosol cans. Whatever we got to do.
Speaking of bad acting, I don't know if you guys have seen, with the whole quarantine / I guess do whatever the hell you want because during the pandemic, but I've been watching. Me and my wife have been watching some Netflix specials or whatever. If you be rated movies here and there, man, have you guys seen some of Steven Seagal's latest movies where nowadays he's like 70 years old? It's so terrible.
Man. The
guy flies across the screen. Yeah, but he just barely moves now, man. It's so
he can't move. They gotta run up to him so he can do stuff.
Hold on. Compared to Steven Seagal back in the day.
Back in the day.
No. Hold on. Back in the day, he could have pulled off maybe a leg sweep. But if you look at this old fool now, if he tried to do a leg sweep, he's going to throw it out of place. He's going to dislocate his knee.
Oh, my God.
He try to do that arm twist to where he try to
Aikido, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even go and say
that looks off of his arm at that point. It looked like somebody's old grandma, old auntie with the.
Watch some of his later YouTube videos now, man. He's like, it's kind of.
It looks bad. Like,
if I don't catch you passing, I ain't looking for it. I'm sorry. I got done with it. I was done with that 6 years ago. Okay.
I will go and say, Steven Seagal has to be one of the worst action stars to ever come out of Hollywood.
Oh my God!
One of the worst.
Give me. You know what? Give me Chuck Norris. I want Chuck Norris back. Why can't he?
Where the hell is he at, by the way? Like, no one's trying Chuck Norris now.
Man.
Chuck Norris is retired.
That's what happened. Chuck Norris retired and the coronavirus hit. There you go.
That's it.
Hey, Google, where is Chuck Norris?
Like,
oh, she almost tried to answer that. That was an accident.
But even think about this. Like, Steven Seagal wasn't even good enough to make it into any of the Expendables movies.
Any of the Expendables. None of them.
But Chuck Norris did.
Chuck Norris did.
Chuck Norris did.
Jean-Claude.
He came in like a commando. Like he came in like a hard badass.
But it's like Jean-Claude Van Damme was in it. And I actually enjoyed him as a villain.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Wesley Snipes was in it.
Oh, Wesley.
I'm sorry. I like Wesley as an actor. Like, he can act.
Oh, yeah.
He can act.
Right.
Yeah.
Passenger 57 always bet on black.
Man, I'm just praying. I'm
You know
just
what? He
praying.
looks like an ace of spades, so yes, I will bet on black.
I'm just praying
Bet
my
on
guy got enough change off of those movies, man, to to get himself back together. That's all. That's
I
all.
know, man.
That's all.
They did that man so dirty.
He did, man.
He don't have any money. Look, he just got done doing Dolomite.
Yeah, he was in
He got
Dolomite. I
something
did.
else coming up. He got something else coming up after that. I think I'm gonna double check this. But yeah, Wesley trying to make his money. He trying to make his money. Eddie trying to make his money.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at him. Like I didn't want. Eddie got a new. Eddie was
Oh, yeah,
supposed to have
man,
a comedy special. Fuck coronavirus. Eddie Murphy was supposed to have a comedy special this year.
Oh, was it
or
this year?
next year.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
The hell
Eddie had 3 or 4 projects dropping at one time. He had Dolomite that was dropping.
Yep.
He had Coming to America that was being filmed.
Yes.
I do remember that.
Right now. And he was supposed to have a comedy special.
Now I do got questions about Coming to America.
Huh?
Because I do have questions about Coming to America. I was like, I thought the original Coming to America ended on a good note, and there was really nothing else to talk about. But all right, let's do it.
This is like seeing the new generation. But hold on, this is like seeing the new generation. You got Prince Akeem that is now probably King Akeem.
Hey man, nobody doping than King Jaffe Joe Fuh. He's still around. Don't let my man King Jaffe Joe just sit around. You got to put him in there.
Oh, he coming back.
Yeah.
He has abdicated the throne to his son. So you know the things can pop off like they need to. You got the young kids coming up. His kids should be in college at this point or on his way out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been 30 years since that movie came out.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to have a daughter in this one, and not and she was supposed to go to America. So yeah, I know. Nah, yeah, she showed. I ain't gonna do it, y'all. Oh man. But honestly, 2020 has messed up a lot of stuff. I mean, we got a pushback of what was that? Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yeah, that got pushed back.
I still don't. I even brought this up. Matter of fact, Jane, I think we talked about this during playing Destiny, and it was like, why didn't Black Widow come out on digital? Like, what's the point of waiting?
I don't know, honestly.
Right.
Like, really, at this point, I think what it is because Disney and Marvel has turned this into such an event at this point. I know grown-ass men who still set these movie dates with their fathers to go watch these movies and watch the marathons for these movies. Yeah. Like, literally have entire families that will sit down either and go to the movie theater. Go to the movie theater, pay real money to go watch all these movies all over again in a marathon, or they will do watch parties at the house. They're like, hey, y'all want to come over? We're going 1 through 5 tonight. 1 through 5?
I'm up for that.
In order, chronological.
Because I'm like this. Hey,
I'm
man,
up
at home. Because I'm like, everybody got a good, clean bill of health. Why not run them? This is the perfect time to do a marathon.
Yeah. But, like if they would have dropped that movie digital, that's exactly what I would have done. Because at this point, like for instance, like with you, with Isaac, like people that I know that ain't out and about just going to like screw off and go do everything in the world that these people are trying to go do.
That's right. Why not? I gotta hit up a bar, man.
For what? You can go buy all the liquor you want. Look, I got liquor. I got liquor.
Over to the beach.
I can drink at the house. Huh?
It's the experience.
Oh.
I'm bored. The fact that I'm stuck in my house for 2 months, my life sucks. Trump is awesome. I want to go to the beach.
You ain't got friends anyway.
I understand what you're saying, but everything that you just told me has translated into I want that Rona. I want it.
It's fake.
Name the baddest girl in the club. Rona.
Why
I
don't you
won't.
understand that, guys? It blows my mind why you guys don't understand that's all fake. It's
He's
fake.
the baddest stripper
Yep.
you ever seen. I want her.
Everything
What's
is
her name?
fake.
That's right.
Corona.
It is.
It's all fake.
Yeah, man. Like you start seeing people with all these Matrix Matrix memes. But anyways, it's just one of those things I started thinking about, and because I was like, this is almost a perfect time to release the movie. Like, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I said, even if it was released for a little bit more than what the average price is, 'cause I think the average price of a new movie is like what, $20, like $19.99 or whatever. But so I was like, even if they charge people like $25, I mean, $30 is a little pricey, but I'm sure people will still pay for it. And so to say
I
that
don't
you can
think 30
buy,
is pricey though.
I mean, compared to going to the movie, you're right. It's pretty much right on
How many
par.
kids you got? How many kids you got?
You know what? I lost count.
Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna cap you out at 5. You might have 2. You might have 4. We're gonna cap you out at 5.
Mhm.
$5 for them. There's 2 adults in your house. You got 7 people. If it were $5 a piece and you had a matinee, which matinee is $7,
Yep.
you still paid
More than what the movie. And so I was like, if it's $29.99 or 40, I mean, honestly, if it's $40, hell, we can all say, hey man, I'm gonna charge everybody $2. Give me $2. We all pay for this, and let's make it a thing.
Let's do it.
And so,
Because at that point, you don't get that big cinematic. Like you take some drawbacks. You don't get the big screen. You ain't got all the booming
you don't have the
sound.
big sound effects and all that stuff. And I get it. That's fine.
You ain't paying for concessions. You got food at the house. People can bring food with them. Y'all can do party snacks. Just shut the hell up while we watch this movie. We can ooh and ah and cry together as one big happy family. I think that's great.
It would have been fine.
I think it's horrible because I want to go to the beach.
Sure, we'll show the movie. We'll screen it on the beach. Then. We'll set it up.
You know what? You know what? When they just put it in your background.
Yep. There you go.
Get
hey,
back.
that works too.
I got an idea for you. You know what? They got companies right now that will ship you some beach sand to your house. You go get you a kiddie pool. You go get them to dump a dump truck of beach sand in your backyard. It's gonna kill all the grass you got, but sacrifices, right?
Yeah.
You can go get your Mai Tai. You can go get your Pina Colada. You can go get your rum runner. You can do all that. And guess what? It's still just as hot, right?
Well, I looked that up what you were mentioning, and guess what?
What?
It's fake.
Oh, it's fake. Just you know what? Just curl up in a ball somewhere. That's all we can do.
They'll take you a tab of acid and say you're on the beach.
Yeah,
Your body will believe at some point. You'll break out in the sweat.
Man.
Just
go
do your
jump in the pool.
Maybe they're holding out, hoping that this thing blows over and they could maybe get it in the theaters Q1 of 2021. What do y'all think?
See, and I think it's going to be this though, because we talked this
at
one point. It's like even once it's over, there's going to be for I think most. I'm hoping for most. It's still going to be a slow of people trying to get back to what that quote unquote normalcy. So I think movie theaters are going to be on the last thing on some people's mind, like especially piling into them. And then,
go ahead. My bad.
I'm just saying because I know some of the movies they're trying to take precautions, like we're gonna put them in smaller theaters, and we're only gonna let so much capacity in.
I'm not trying to hear that.
But even then, it's like. They're not, at first they said they weren't going to require masks. I think it was AMC. They weren't going to require masks, and then they backtracked on that. But then you're like, is everyone going to keep a mask on the whole time they're watching the movie?
Heck no. I was at Popeyes the other day. They can't even keep them on at work.
Exactly. And so, especially if people order food, finger food at that. So it's a lot to take in, especially with everything going on. I don't think this is going to be a change for the movie theater, and so I don't see why they'll wait for 2021 to say, we'll release that movie then, because even then there's nothing right now that you can see was like, by that time we'll be good.
So think about it this way. I agree with that. Think about it as what happened during 9/11, where Travel went down significantly for like months. A lot of places didn't feel safe with just opening their doors, like in New York or in major cities. When you're a major city, even like Houston, I think somebody said they had the same issue, was because you had federal buildings there. They were super locked down. Again, every federal building was super locked down. They were locked tight. But the thing about it was, when you're dealing with the unknown, people are scared to go out just because they're just scared. So people I heard a comedian talk about like when 9/11 hit, it was Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones is from LA. She was living in New York at the time, and 9/11 happened. And she said the worst thing about it is that all the comedy clubs stopped opening. They did not open. And that was just because they were in New York. It was the fear of all this happening. And she, anybody that I've talked to, I know a guy that's in New York now I know a couple of people that's in New York now that I used to work with. He does comedy. It's literally, you can go all across the city and do comedy. I mean, depending on where you want to go and what you want to do. But the thing that's more frightening than anything is like when you got coronavirus or something like this is taking over, the last thing in my mind that I want to do is go to the movies.
Yeah. I mean, think about how long.
Because you don't know what the strategy is going to be. You go with your family, they're not going to space out every seat.
Think about how, I don't remember the exact numbers. I can probably look it up. But remember when they had the whole incident in Colorado?
The shooting?
Yeah. How long did it really take you to say, yeah, I'm going back to the movies?
I don't know.
You didn't go that next day, though.
I actually did. I ain't go that month.
You're right. So,
I'm damn sure didn't go. I didn't go that month. I ain't go the next month after that. No. You know what? I'm good.
I think it took me
Batman. Okay, gotcha.
Batman. I think it took me like a whole 6 months before I even thought about going back. Because I'm like, nah, man. If somebody can roll up in there and do this just on a whim with like zero motivation, I'm good.
Remember the dude that went through, he was in, was it Lafayette that shot up the movie theater there too?
Yeah. And so
it was like, he was documented mentally, like he had an issue. So it was like, no.
It was one of those moments where you just be like, no, I'm good. I'm straight. You know what? There's nothing I need to see that bad at this moment.
This is a very unique situation, and my dad told me something, man, that kind of, I guess, really kind of made it hit home. He was like, never in my life, and my dad's, almost 70 years old, have I ever seen anything quite like this. And for someone, anyone, who's, been around, especially the civil rights movement and, NOM and all that craziness. But, for someone to say that, it's just like, dang, and the fact that we're in the pandemic, this isn't going to be an overnight situation, no. by no stretch of imagination. Even if we had a vaccine available today, we
still got issues we got to deal with.
Oh God, yes. I mean, we'll be nowhere near, getting to a point where we can say, okay, this thing's behind us. You're talking years. I think the pandemic around 1918. It was a few years until things finally, quote unquote, returned to normal. So. Yeah. I mean, how do you handle that as a business? I mean, at some point, these theaters are going to have to make money, and what do you do to win back confidence of, of the population? What do you do? I mean, it's,
I also think that this is okay. Here's the only conspiracy theory I'll throw out there. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just throwing it out here.
Throw it.
Mouth vomit. But anyways, I don't think they released it because I felt like if they released it digital, that would almost kill the movie industry to an extent. And what I mean by that is, yes, certain films are respectable. We talked about this before. There are certain things that are an event to go through. Like, for instance, we had a tradition with Star Wars. When the prequel trilogy was out, we went the pre-night, the pre-open, that Thursday night, knowing I had to go to school that next morning. Me and my dad would go and watch the midnight showing. And this was a thing that we did. Everybody would dress up and go. And it was an event. Same thing with the Marvel movies. There was that too. Outside of that, I don't know how well movies theaters were really doing. Because, like, were you really going to go watch what's Fatal Affair, which is what I just watched on Netflix with Nia Long? You're like, nope, I'll wait till that comes out. Or all the Adam Sandler movies that came out. Some of them were interesting. Some were like, okay, he just wanted to check. But are any of them worth going to sit in a movie to watch? The answer is probably no.
No.
And so
the answer is definitely no.
Yes.
Not all of it.
Except that one hardcore Adam Sandler fan who was like, I remember Happy Gilmore and Waterboy. I'm in there. Fine, whatever, guys.
Back in the day, those can still be either classic, cult classic, whatever you want to call it. But like those are okay. Those are fine. But everything on the other side of most of that, it's like
hit or miss.
And this is the thing though. Back in the day, you only had Blockbuster. You had the early beginnings of Netflix. So it was like by the time that stuff made it to home anyway, you had forgotten about it anyway. So a lot of times you may have gone into the movies for some of that. But now I can wait until Netflix has this. I can wait until Amazon has this. I can wait until Hulu has this.
Google
you know what?
Play.
I'm gonna wait.
Because digital come out like a month or 2 months before the actual physical release. So
sometimes
yeah, and so it's one of those things where the digital age, again, plus and minuses of it, technology has caught up to movie theaters. And so these certain small, like, even if it's a big budget film, which I can't see the last time they spent millions of dollars on a comedy or something like that. Well, at least to the point where you'll see a big budget like a big budget action film.
Comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know a big budget comedy.
I don't think that it exists. Or a big budget love story. You don't get those.
No.
And so that's the only movies that people really go see. So then if we release Black Widow and it's successful and hundreds of thousands, millions of people purchase this film, then the question is, should we even consider releasing these in theaters? Should we just develop them and sell them at $40 a piece?
I mean, honestly, if you want to kind of look at that, what did they do? The Invisible Man was one of those movies that they did like that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people said that movie was great. I still have yet to see it.
I still haven't seen it yet.
But I heard it was really good. But to be able to portray the Invisible Man the way that they did, I saw kind of like the making of it too. Of course, they use a lot of like people in green suits and all this, but they use a lot of old techniques to get these effects of like stuff being sprayed across the house by something that you can't see. But to be able to do that and still make the money off of the movie by charging $20, $25 for a showing, when now if you're the only person in your house, it's probably not the best investment to make.
Definitely.
Because you're not watching it over and over again. But if you got 3 or 4 friends, y'all can split $20 a piece.
Yeah.
Hell, between 4 friends, y'all can split $40 a piece. It's $10 for the movie.
Yeah, it's $10 a person.
People do that all the time for the pay-per-view fights.
Shit, people do that nowadays with Netflix subscriptions. What?
Yep.
What?
Exactly. I'll say what now? Mm-hmm. So, to switch gears a little bit, get out the depressing stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty depressed right now, guys. Sorry.
No. You and all your hatred coming out of your mouth, you should feel
angry, man.
You look depressed.
But Disney released the movie and stopped playing. But anyway,
perfect service announcement. Depression is a real thing, and if you know anybody that might be suffering from it, make sure you go in and check on your friends during this terrible time. Like legit.
Yeah, all seriousness.
Mental health is a real thing, and as Black folks, we try to dispel it. We try to push it to the side,
compartmentalize it.
try to compartmentalize. You get this whole raising as you're a child, that you're a man, you don't need to cry, you better suck that shit up.
No,
what you better go do is go talk to somebody about that shit, because you go blow up and kill everybody in your family. So
I call James crying all the time. What you talking about?
Shit, before we jumped on this, I had to change my shirt from all the tears that I'm wasting on it. You see this bottle? I'm drowning my sorrows right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that ain't what you need to do in this time of depression and all this other stuff.
Do that.
If you know anybody that feel like they might be stressed with suicide and everything else, please reach out to your friends. But let me sound like
a bunch of. No,
stop. Let somebody try me. I'm coming up. We can meet on site. Me and my big ass can meet on site. Let's go.
Pull up.
You might not catch the corona, but you're gonna catch this ass whooping though. So, video games. How do y'all feel about this new transition that we might be paying $70?
Nope.
No. Yeah, you mentioned that James was 70. Well, who's doing that? 2K21 or something like that?
70 on the 70 bones.
Like
they want 70
money?
bones.
Seriously?
They want 70 bones. Okay.
No,
when they talk about like Gil, like what kind of currency are we speaking of?
Monopoly money.
Let me put it to you this way. Uh-huh. You got 206 bones in your human body, right?
Uh-huh.
They want 70 of them.
Okay. You know what? I would say, okay, game company.
Think about 70 bones you can just let go in your body. Just think about 70. 70. I mean, just bones.
I need my bones, thank you.
I'm like, okay, gaming company, 2K, because why should I pay you $70? Why should I increase what I pay by $20? Close enough. Well, $10 basically, because it's what $59.99 for brand new, and then basically it'll be $69.99, and I'm sure. So why the increase? Well,
and what's sad about it, I think the low blow in all this is like they know folks ain't got no money for that right now.
That's the problem.
Nobody has the money for it. Like, why not? You know what, guys? Times is hard. The struggle is indeed real. So you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to reduce the price. I don't know, $20, for the sake of argument. Okay, heck, I don't play basketball, but man, I feel these folks are coming. Let me just check this out. No, we're going to jack it up 70. Get out of here. Seriously.
Oh, man, because they're struggling, man. They're trying hard. It's
but you know what? How many of us going to have that copy of 2K? I'm leaving it.
Hold on. No, hold on. I got something for you on that, too. I got something for both of them points. I got 2 points. One, all right, so outline. One, nobody ain't paying for these games because of, I don't care if you think that you're going poor. Why did you drop a trash game beforehand when it was $60? You think this $10 per game is going to help you boost your sales because you going poor because you dropped the trash game? You dropped that game. Ooh. You want me to tell you how you make up the money for that? Make a better game.
Make a better sell something. Put better resources into it. Stop putting so much in the production and actually put it into the gameplay.
Maybe. All right. My second point. All right. I love my people. I love all the people.
Here we go.
But everybody that buys a sports game is a fool.
Hey.
Y'all are absolute fools.
I mean, you know what?
Let's be real. Can I give you some examples?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can buy Overwatch. Day one, it was $60, right?
Uh-huh.
You ain't paid for no DLC. The only thing you paid for were trinkets that make you look good.
Yeah.
Okay? Every year, Madden drop a fresh one. How many people join the NFL every year and you just can't write this in? You can't code this in.
Yeah, not as many.
Of course they can.
Yeah, they can.
But that's not part of their,
that's not part of the business model, though.
But hold on. They try to have their cake and eat it, too. Yeah. Why do they upgrade these rosters in real time? And what if you got last year's copy? They upgrade the rosters again on last year's copy, too.
You can actually get a patch for the last.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Right. But you bought this you're going to buy this 21, though. Even though 20 is hot and ready.
Mm-hmm.
But 21, you got this new mold in it though, right?
Yeah,
I look. I got some family members that love their games, and they like they sports games. I will tell you like this: if anybody want to come to blows over this one, I will give you that free one. I'm gonna give you one free hit too, because I'm gonna wear your ass out over a video game.
See, here's what you know, man. Look,
No,
you didn't know. You didn't know. See, they make the eyes different on this one.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
They got
but you know, okay.
They got a new strain of cocaine to get you super, super high.
I'll say this because from time to time, you know, I do purchase, you know, a sports game, James. But anyway,
oh yeah, I'm talking about you too. But yeah,
I do my due diligence, and I say that, for example, MLB. There were some significant changes in the core gameplay. Hold on. Madden 21, I probably will not buy it. Because I say that because these past several years, every few years, they'll go through like a drastic change in the core mechanics, you know? And okay, that might warrant, you know, a new release. But at the same time, these past couple of years, guys, it's been, you know, man, you know, and, you know, besides the roster and, you know, a few little odds and ends, they may add a few moves. Oh, hold on, guys, we've adjusted the control scheme for the 2000th time, you know, just to say they did something. I'm not buying that. Now, if it's a change to, you know, the core game, you know, significant change, you know, to the core game. Okay, I can see that. But, you know, lately, what EA's been doing with Madden, yeah, no.
But the problem is with Madden and a lot of those sports, there's zero competition. Like, think about this. Madden they're the only company at this moment has the rights to make anything NFL related. Yep. At one point, a lot of people don't remember. Anybody remember 2K, NFL 2K? Back in the day?
My favorite game. Yeah. My favorite ones.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of building out your football player and then, not even your football player, but your football player.
Yeah.
You were able to design an entire apartment or house with all the stuff that you wanted in it. When you have the extra credits and points and all this stuff, you can do whatever you want in that. You can buy you didn't even have to pay real cash for it. This was before they had this new paywall that they put up everything. But you literally were able to go in, deck out your house, living room, bobbleheads. You can collect every major bobblehead in the game. Mm-hmm. And then they lost the rights to that. But you know, it's the same thing on the other side with the NBA Live. Where's NBA Live at?
Oh, wow. Well, Live was trash after a while. I think they started re-releasing it. But
just like 2K,
yeah, pretty much. And so,
if I'm sorry, keep me cut you off. In fact, if y'all want to go ahead, if y'all want to try 2K, you can get 2K20 now on I think PS
for
Plus.
Free. Yep,
for free right now. If y'all want to try it,
I want to try it.
Yeah,
I'm done with those. Look, the only sports game that I said I was saying, look, the only thing the sports game that I was interested in playing at this point is FIFA. And you want me to tell you why? I'm sick of Madden. I've been sick of Madden for 20 years, and it's only been for one reason. Black folks take this shit way too serious. Like, Madden is on the same line as playing spades, is playing dominoes. Man, you gonna beat me on this Madden? You gonna beat me on this Madden? I will beat your ass. I will beat your ass. Like, I ain't in the throwing controller.
No, James. You talk about FIFA. FIFA is actually a solid game.
No, that's the only one that I plan on playing. I know it's a solid game. It's been a solid game for the last 5 or 6 years. That's the only one that I plan on playing, especially from EA, like sports.
I think the only game I used to buy, and I used to stagger the years because I was like, okay, I'm not going to buy each one every year, but I used to buy the college football because I thought the Road to Glory was probably one of the best
NCAA,
experiences.
Yeah,
because you get a guy, make him from high school on up, and you basically become the best college football player ever. Other than that, but again, at an early age, and I'm talking about teenage years, I was like, I'm not going to buy every year. So I'll buy 2003, and then afterwards I might buy 5, and then I might
You are a
buy
smart
7.
Well, you are a smart consumer because Apple picked up on that a long time ago.
Mhm.
Because video games was the first ones to do this the right way. They had a following, and how do you make sure you keep that following? Just drop another one next year. They love it. They want it. Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl, I think, got spread out. It was probably the only one that got spread out, but after a while, you started seeing Tecmo Bowl show up. Then you started seeing the Madden start showing up at that point, and then Madden drops every year. Then Madden kicks Tecmo Bowl out the game. Tecmo Bowl ain't no more. I loved it.
Yep.
The Bo Jackson cheat. The one thing that they made a freaking commercial on with a car, with Bo Jackson driving the car.
Oh man, the Bo knows commercials.
Can't catch Bo.
Hey.
Can't catch Bo.
It was just one of those things where the gaming. I would say this. I love video games, but they do have their own exploitive practices. It's kind of like the loot box,
microtransactions, loot boxes. Yep.
Let's see, what else do we have?
Breaking
games up into multiple parts and say, we're going to release part 1 here, and then we're going to release part 2 here. Final Fantasy VII. I'm just, I'm just saying, like, they've caught on because they realize, hey, the consumer wants this so bad they're willing to buy it twice. Matter of fact, we'll sell them a game, create all the DLC, and then we'll make another game with all the DLC already attached. It's genius. Bethesda?
Oh, God.
I'm just saying.
Man, I waited years before I played Monster Hunter World. And by the time I actually got it, like, it came with majority of everything besides the last version that just dropped.
That's it.
I'm like, okay, I'm with it. $30.
But yeah, they've done that a lot. Like, ever since the internet age and all that stuff has come up, they've found ways to basically continue to make you pay more for a game. Like, it's just gradually it has happened.
So Johnny, I had a question for you then about that, because there's one that you ain't gonna have to pay a whole bunch of money for a whole bunch of stuff. So tell me about Flight Simulator 2020.
Oh man, it's been a long time. Oh man, where do I begin? Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is a culmination of over 20 years of a very niche community. So Microsoft started a foray back up, it was like FS95, and up until FS10, they were the standard, in the flight simulation community. Those of you who are, interested in flight simulation, things like that, that was the sim to have. Well, all of a sudden, they're like, oh, well, you know what? We bombed out. This isn't working. We're not making enough money. We're not bringing enough revenue to justify, further development. So we're just pulling out, And here's the weird thing about flight sim. So the flight simulation community leans heavily on the third party community. So you may have an aircraft or an add-on or something that might cost you $70, $80 on top of
like real
core.
Money?
Real money. Yeah.
Oh shit.
On top of the core game. Prime example. Let's say,
I won't get Johnny to self-incriminate himself, but
yeah, you know what? Screw it. We just, in case Rona gets me, this is my memoir. So, for example, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with the 737. Southwest flies them. You see them every day at your airport. So you can fly a true to life simulation of a 737. In fact, so true to life, Boeing licensed it. for a low price of $187.
Oh.
Just for the simulation, not for the game or the
Just
sim,
for
whatever you want to
that,
call it. Just
for that
for the
particular
add-on.
model.
Yes,
Wow.
just for that model. So needless to say, when you're talking about plugins, you're talking about aircraft, you're talking about all this, hardware, we're not even talking about hardware. There are simmers out there who are well into tens of thousands of dollars, worth of equipment. There are people out there who have built home cockpits.
Seen those.
Literally home cockpits.
Man, I saw one of those last night. It was, yes. I seen, they basically, how they do the modeling and the molding for cars?
Yeah.
How they'll shape it out of clay and everything like that, or wood.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at someone, they were doing a prefab. It looked like when I was watching one of Johnny Sims, it looked like legit. They had a 2-seater, is what it looked like. Displays that looked like the windows. They had an overhead section just for they can put in switches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how much time and money do you have to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't got the time or the money, who is the individual that does? They got this kind of time to build this.
Yeah. And can
This
you
is their
loan
full-time
me
job.
some
This
of
ain't
that
part-time.
money?
This can't be a part-time job.
Yeah. Yep. And can you provide me some of that money that you were using?
I mean, it's so just imagine, you've invested all of this money, into gear and hardware, only to have the only developer at the time pull out. And you're stuck with an aging platform, with no type of support or nothing. Well, fortunately, a couple things happened. So there's a company called Laminar Simulations, Laminar Solutions, one of them. They created Explain 9, Explain 10 now, I think Explain 11. Ran by a guy named Austin Meyer. He's a math guy's weird, but a genius nonetheless. And then it's kind of weird. You also have Lockheed Martin, who created Prepared 3D. Prepared 3D though is one of those things. It's like Microsoft wasn't doing anything with the license, so Lockheed Martin picked it up, and here you go. And but that's more geared toward your let's see, like companies, schools, engineering level type testing, things like that, testing drones, things like that. But it comes in handy for, the average home user as well. So, you have these two platforms for, I don't know, the past 3-4 years. People have been using them, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, last year, Microsoft's like, "Hey, we're back." Microsoft 2020. So this
Y'all remember the thing
time
we used to do? We doing it again.
they're doing it again. So now they're also looking to hit the console market as well.
I haven't seen a them on console in a minute.
Well, Ace Combat, Ace Combat was the last one I seen. And of course, PC, and it blends right into the Windows 10 environment. So I mean, there's really no issues with compatibility and things like that. And they're normally the world. So of course, these simulations encompasses the whole world. So roughly 40,000 airports you have the ability to fly to, things like this, literally worldwide. So initially that was always installed locally on the computer. Now I think Microsoft is leveraging on their Azure platform, and they're streaming the scenery to the computer or the console. And that's going to be a game changer. But we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. I'm excited because it could potentially bring you know, bring more folks to the industry. I think it's an industry that has become stagnated. You got the same old heads that have been in it for years, and they're resistant to change. They're resistant to this. Just as with anything else, and it'll be a little refreshing to finally see new faces to the industry. So for once, I'm actually excited about about what Microsoft's doing for once, and we'll we'll see what happens, y'all. We'll definitely see what happens, but I don't know. I mean, as far as price wise, I don't know.
I think it'll be. I mean, they got 3 price tiers right now. They got like the $70, the $60 one. Then it goes from 60 to 90, like $89. Yeah. 60 to 90, and from 90 to 120. But what you're getting out of it at this point is the availability of models already available at that point, like specific ones that they've already done. I was telling you this, right? So, like, if you got Xbox Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, it'll let you get this.
You get the standard, I think, for free.
You get the standard for free. But at that point, that's basically saying, I'm already paying for this service. This is like Netflix dropping a movie and you watch the first 30 minutes of it. If you don't get it after the first 30, you ain't got to watch it no more. You ain't got no extra out of pocket at this point. But this is another thing that I told, that I brought this up to you. Microsoft, a lot of people are like, get like diehard PlayStation. I only want PlayStation. I only want Xbox. I only want PC. PC master. You ain't messing with the X, whatever.
Yeah.
So my whole thing was take that out of the equation. A lot of things that people are like looking at right now are like, okay, Microsoft and Xbox ain't got that many games. They ain't got no exclusives. PlayStation got all the exclusives.
Where the games at?
PlayStation. Where the games at? But Microsoft's head made a statement that their focus was not on actual exclusive releases, because I brought this up to Johnny. It was 2 things that I brought up. There was one about the exclusives and how Microsoft sees that now, but also Microsoft's ability to turn a new IP into a massive project. And what I meant by that was, I'll start with my second point. If you look at Forza and Forza Horizons, the last arcade racing game that you played, it may have been Need for Speed, Cruising World.
USA.
Yep, Cruising USA. Yep.
Cruising USA, or you in Dave and Buster's, CC, or
Mario Kart. Let's just keep it real.
Or
Mario Kart, yeah.
That's the only one
Mario
that you
Kart
can think of that is only on one single platform versus mobile now. But Mario Kart is only on Nintendo. Just like Forza is only on Xbox. Just like Gran Turismo is only on PlayStation.
Yep.
Microsoft took a big step and a big chance at coming out with Forza 7 games ago for it to be the top racing simulation for any platform, period.
I just started playing that recently.
What, Forza?
Yeah, it's actually really good.
It's down to its mechanics. Like, it has its mechanics down to a T. If you put it on the most extreme version.
And it's open world.
Yes. So if you put it on the most extreme, Forza Horizon or Forza? Horizon is open world.
So I
think Horizon is open world.
Horizon is open world.
Yeah.
So it's like Need for Speed Underground, where you just kind of drive around the entire city. Okay.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah.
So check this out. Microsoft did a unique, well, I won't say it's unique, but they did something really, really good with this whole thing. When they did the Forza thing, they got all the licensing from the manufacturers of the cars, the parts for cars, sounds for cars. So they literally went out, got the testing for the Ferraris, for the Porsches, for the Cayennes, for the 911 Turbos, the 911 Turbo S. Like, they got out and they got the licensing for these things where they had not been known to do any of this before. And they made one of the best racing simulations, period. Now, on the other hand, with that, not only did they get the racing simulation right, but Horizon, which is the arcade one, they partnered with, when they did the Fast 7, Microsoft got the rights to make the expansion for that game. They have an entire expansion in that game in Forza Horizon 3, where all you do is you're racing some of the same vehicles that they use in that game.
In the movie.
In that movie.
Oh.
It was good.
Really?
Like, they made it look like a movie scene and everything. Like, you had to beat, you had to race one of these heavy armored, like, helicopters. Like, you had to outmaneuver it and everything. Like, it was on point. My point with that is, when you're looking at Flight Simulator, a lot of people are kind of on the fence about how they feel about it. A lot of people think it's going to fail and fall flat because that's what they've expected every time that Microsoft has released something like this. They've expected Microsoft to fail in this one position, but they proved themselves by doing that. What's stopping them from making this work exactly like they planned it to, and then turn right back around, go to Boeing, get these licenses, go to Lockheed Martin, get these licenses, go to any of these big jet companies and say, you know what? We want to partner with you. We want to put this in our game, but we also want to make this work. But then they got third-party people that are doing the exact same thing for these models because they're building a marketplace directly into the game for it. To say, we can do this.
Being a PlayStation connoisseur.
There we go. We got one of them right here. I just like video games. But
I do too, but it just seems like Xbox, generally speaking, has never been great when it came to just exclusivity. Like, even when they used to buy, like, big-time companies who have done great work for other consoles. I think I brought it up for James before. Rare had hit after hit after hit from Battletoads up to Banjo-Kazooie. And then as soon as Microsoft gets them, they don't release anything good for the most part.
They didn't release a lot of Rare games. Most of their Rare games came in 360. I will give them that.
And so even if you look at, they also at one point had some of the exclusivity rights to Halo. And it's like, yeah, Halo was good all the way to 3. And then after that kind of died off. And then they tried to reemerge it, but like, you think by that time the wave was gone. It's like, yeah, some people bought it because of nostalgia reasons, but overall, it wasn't like Halo, the revolutionary game it was.
The story wasn't. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But if you win Halo, like, I'm a fanboy. I'm a fanboy this for a second, but I'm gonna try to be as objective as possible.
Okay.
But so for the first 3 games, you had one company that basically made that game. That was Bungie.
Yeah, it was Bungie.
We know Bungie went on to do bigger things and do Destiny. So they basically had this thing where at one point, Destiny came out to PlayStation in its first portion of it exclusively. Like, some of the DLC was exclusive to PlayStation and all this other stuff, but they did this deal with Activision. The problem is now that you had the entire team leave Bungie, that was with Bungie and Halo, that entire team left with Bungie and worked with Activision at that point. So your storytelling, the people that made the story dropped off. The gameplay was still there. 343 did a great job with, like, the gameplay itself. The story was was not where it needed to be for those, like, for Halo 4 and Halo 5. Now we're really hoping, I'm hoping beyond hope, that Halo Infinite is the one that resurges, like, the storytelling. But when it comes to, like, downright smash mouth PvP, that was my game. That and Call of Duty. Those were the ones. Like, Black Ops and Modern Warfare. Oh.
And the problem is some of the games that have
Battlefield 2. I give Battlefield in.
But here's what messed up Xbox. Some of the games that broke records and people that I ain't gonna say saved the single player experience, but you look at PlayStation, The Last of Us. All right? You got God of War came out. The Uncharted series. You have Spider-Man. That was a PlayStation exclusive. Let's see, Bloodborne, Horizon Zero Dawn. You got the Ratchet and Clank. I don't even know. Do people still play that?
Actually, they're dropping
I
a new
downloaded it, but I hadn't played it yet. I've been wanting to because everybody talks
whether
about it.
y'all play it, it's big enough at this
big
point.
Enough that,
yeah, they still make them. I give it that.
And so,
I will give you that all day long.
Yeah, and I would say yes, it's good if you do one thing and you get all those extra things. But at the end of the day, a consumer just wants a fun game. That's all. They're like, oh man, we made all this authentic sounds and this and that. They're like, man, it can go pew pew as long as the gameplay is fine. I'm just saying.
And I give you that because the thing about it is, if you think of it, if you look at the whole thing, if you release a game on every platform, and just like they did with a lot of games, like when they released like Madden and everything, the reason why you have it to where more people are buying it on PlayStation is because more people bought the PlayStation because of that exclusive, and they're thinking to themselves like, I could buy this on Xbox, but yeah, I made a couple friends on PlayStation that I want to play with when I get this, and they'll do the same thing. And then it's like, you know what? I put all this money in my PlayStation. I'm not really playing my Xbox like that anymore, and they continue to do that because it pushes itself into that.
Yeah, and I thought about buying a Xbox one time.
One time. Just once.
I thought about getting a 360 because I did like Gears of War. And I thought about
that's still one of the best ones they got right now.
Oh yeah.
I played this last one.
Gears of War is one of those series. I hope, I don't know, Netflix or HBO or someone picks it up.
We'll pick up
a series out of it.
Series,
cool.
no movies.
Yeah, but that, and there's this one game that a buddy of mine played.
Hey, no, never mind.
No, shit, I forgot. Got the name of it. But I was watching him play. It was like a third-person shooter, and I was like, "Oh, the premise seems pretty decent." But then I started thinking about it. I was like, would I buy a whole system for this one game? So,
but that's where it starts because some people will buy a system. Some people bought their PlayStation just for Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that's true.
And God of War,
but let's.
Before God of War, that's the name of the game.
The more Quantum Break. Quantum Break, I heard, was pretty good. They had a TV show that was supposed to go with it, but I think it bombed out.
Oh, of course.
But let's take Spider-Man as an example. Spider-Man is a global character at this point, and before God of War, before Kratos was and everything, Spider-Man had been around for 50 years?
For a while,
Who didn't dream of being, probably longer than that at that point? Who didn't dream of being Spider-Man? Who didn't pretend like they had spider webs at one point? Hey, who didn't do that?
I would tell people.
I would have bought a PlayStation for Spider-Man.
Sony Spider-Man is one of the best Spider-Man films I played.
Yep. That's period.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah. That's all it is. I'm going to say this for my last point with this too. And you brought up with Microsoft buying all these companies. So my original point, out of my first two, that was the other thing. With all the acquisitions that Microsoft has made at this point, a lot of people are asking, where are the games? A perfect example of that is Obsidian with Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds is still a hit at this point because people are still buying it. It's a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
But people were really confused by that Microsoft had bought this company out, but they made the decision to make this game available to everyone. Now, this might be a little off the cuff, but this is what my theory is on that, though. When you have the PC market locked up already, you know that's what you did. You got PC gamers that are building their PCs, that are buying their PCs just for a game. You got Flight Simulator coming out. Biggest thing that they got coming. One of the biggest things they got coming, and it was normally just for PC. But for them to even hint that it was coming to console, the first console that is going to move to, if anything, is an Xbox because it's the same infrastructure as that PC, as Windows 10. Essentially, your Xbox is running Windows 10 at this point.
Yes.
There's no other way around it. There's no other way around it. When you get to the point to where not only you got two systems running the same operating system or two platforms running the same operating system, there's no point in exclusivity because why should I just put it to my PC or why should I just put it to my Xbox? They've already got it set up at this point that I'm doing the Xbox streaming. I can play some of my same games from my phone without having to even turn on my Xbox. I'm directly pushing it from xCloud. Yeah. So,
but I will say though, it is especially like I ride both sides of the fence. I'm not gonna lie. I've owned an Xbox, and I've owned a PlayStation, and I will say the direction that Microsoft's going right now, holistically, is pretty freaking sweet because. Especially, if you're on the go, you're traveling or something like that, so you're saying I can crack open my laptop, I'll still be able to, play Flight Sim or Outer Worlds or, these other, I mean, that's, for me, that's huge.
Yeah, even though, PlayStation has a similar feature as well, but we're not going to go there.
Well, hold on. Before you even go there, let me flip this. What kind of computer you have in front of you right now?
We're not talking about that right now. We're not talking about me at this particular moment.
I just want to make a point. Is it running Windows 10? Let me ask you that. Is it running Windows 10?
I don't recall.
Okay, cool. That's fine. But if you don't remember,
it's running Ubuntu.
That's fine. If he doesn't remember, that means he's running two operating systems. The main one is going to be Windows 10. That's perfectly fine. Understand. But imagine you just went to the store. You just go to Walmart. Hell, you don't go to Walmart no more. You just Amazoned it. You buy you a controller right now. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you do. You just get Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
You get Game Pass. $15 a month. Go ahead. Just buy you one controller and get Game Pass. You can play all the games you want. You ain't had to buy a single console.
Yep. That is true.
And that's my point, though, is that people talk about exclusivity. It doesn't even matter anymore. It does not matter.
Because I also thought,
we really going to do this?
Oh, man. Yeah, never mind. No, okay, we'll save that for next time. PlayStation versus Xbox. Let's go. Cast your votes here. If you pro PlayStation, go ahead and let us know. If you pro Xbox, let us know. If you one of those people who like it don't matter, man, let us all just play games. Y'all don't get a vote, but either way, let us know anyway.
So I don't get a vote. I got a case right over here that I'm going to start building this computer. I got a PlayStation that's sitting right here, and I got an Xbox right here behind me. So I am one of them that say, let's play these damn games. Which one you want?
I hate video games, and I think Jenga is the best thing out there.
I got that too. You want to play?
Okay, Jenga is fun, especially when you're inebriated.
Perfect.
Hey, don't get the regular set. Get the big set.
Yeah, you gotta get the jumbo set. Damn, first of all, there's a drunk set because it's like you gotta be able to use more than one hand to make it work.
What?
Oh, now that's a whole nother level. You moving logs. You are literally moving logs.
Oh, man.
Lincoln logs.
Oh, man.
Anyways, we gotta close this out, y'all. We'll be here talking together. Y'all already know what's up. Again, if you do have anything you want us to talk about specifically, if you want to make comments or you want to tell us that we suck ass, it doesn't matter. You can hit us up at blerdconfidential@gmail.com. Also, make sure to follow the show at any place where you can get podcasts. We are on, just to name a few, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play, I believe, also accepted us. And we're also on Spotify and places like that. So all you can do is just go to the good old Googles, put in Blerd Confidential Podcast. What's that?
This fool is making paper puppets.
I was like, either there or you making origami over there. What's going on?
Oh,
he's cutting cards.
I feel inspired.
Oh, okay. All right. But yeah, other than that, anything left to say? Also follow the Twitter page. We are at Blerd World Order on Twitter. And yeah,
Facebook
anything.
also.
Yeah, we do have a Facebook page. It's Blerd Confidential. We'll start posting there here pretty soon, probably daily, just to kind of fill out the crowd. Y'all let us, and that's also a place you can let us know, provide feedback. Anything else, fellas? Yeah, gang.
John Wick just showed.
John
But
Wick
anyway,
pop.
just expecting to get shot right now, but
Where's my dog?
Well,
you my dog.
other than that, y'all, I think it's been great. We appreciate everyone who has listened. Make sure to share it with your friends. Sharing is caring. But other than that, we up out.
Fake news.
Right. Peace.